things are what makes in businesses in life, chaos sometimes brings order. And the more that it becomes slightly chaotic, the more that you're focused on what it is that what you have to accomplish at the end. Because at the end of the day, what we needed to do was be able to speak to your audience and get them the answers that they have when it comes to business strategy, and any questions that they may have, we can answer. So as long as we were able to do, you were supposed to get me on and I was supposed to be on. We figured out what the problems were, found the solutions, and now we're making it happen. In businesses and life, that is what we do. We
Yes.
facilitate taking the problems and finding the solutions for them, whether it's something as simple as a Facebook Live or something as complex as scaling your business.
Yes, yes, exactly. That's how we learn, from our
Oh,
we
that's how
learn
we learn.
what
That's how I learned to have all of these things always around just in case, because you never
yes.
know.
So guys, if you are watching and if you have a questions, just let us know down the comment, or even though you watch this on a replay, just write down your questions on the comment, and she will get back on you. Okay, so you ask C, don't ask me because I'm not an expert. She's the expert. So yeah. So the topic for today that she's gonna talk about and give you some tips on how to scale your business, because she experienced of doing business for a long time. So, okay, before we start, Z, can you give some short introduction about yourself?
Well, yes, one of the things that I will tell you about myself is I learned a very long time ago that I didn't really want to have a boss. And that's when I was in the Army. I was in the U.S. Army for 8 years, active duty as a nuclear, chemical, and radiological contaminant specialist. And I did a lot of work for the U.S. Army, and I had a lot of bosses. And that's when I realized that I only needed one boss, and that boss is me. Because there is something about doing things, and there's nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5. I have employees, so I appreciate them. But some of us are driven further to kind of reach our goals from within ourselves. And I realized that that was the same person that I was. I had the entrepreneurial spirit from a very young age. My parents were both business owners. And when I left the military, I knew I wanted to be in business for myself. It's not as easy as it sounds. If you build it, that doesn't necessarily mean they'll come. If you don't have the proper tools for your business, if you don't start your business as a business from the onset, you are setting yourself up to not necessarily fail, because there's nothing wrong with failure. Failure is only one step to success. And as long as you understand that, you've taken the largest leap of faith, is understanding that once you fail, you've learned from that failure, you will succeed. So take that step and allow yourself, look inside yourself and say, yes, that's our first failure. It may not be our last, but it is a learning experience and a building block for our business. And I did. I had my failures up front. And I always like to laugh. I went to a mastermind with some amazing people about 10 years ago. And one of the things that we all laughed at is saying that, hey, I am an overnight success. It only took me 30 years to get here. So
Yes.
30 years of hard work, 30 years of going through things, of learning through and for my clients. My business, my brick and mortar consultancy, I'm an outsourced CEO. And an outsourced CEO is pretty much someone who comes in and takes a look at the big picture of your business from very high up, from a 30,000-foot view looking down. I look at everything from your processes to your setup to your HR, what it is that you are doing in business and what your end goals are. Then I sit with you and I strategize your future vision, and then we work backwards from there. So not too many businesses can afford to have a world-class CEO full time. Sometimes, that even the business owner doesn't have the pay of a CEO. So in order to give back, I've decided that that was my life path, to be able to come into smaller companies and mid-sized companies and provide them world-class CEO tutelage and training and assessment, help them with everything from stabilizing their businesses, setting up the key performance indicators, developing strategies and strategic plans that they can follow easily, to thrive, to grow, to scale their businesses. And that's what I do. I like to consider myself a business empath. I feel, once I have a conversation with a client, I feel what it is that they need. I look at their their overall needs assessment that we do together, and then I project that to a future vision. Once we do that, then I know exactly where they want to be, and it's my job to get them there. I work with them to make sure that I forge the path for their business, a roadmap, and then I kind of say, okay, now you're good to go. Go ahead. And I love it because it gives me such a sense of satisfaction every time I see a client actually say, turn around on that path and look back and say, hey, see, thank you so much for being a part of our journey. And that's much more fulfilling than the money, which has not been bad.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
Um, and in order to scale your business, you have to understand that there are certain things that you must do up front, of course. And I have like a 5-point strategy. In order to have a business, you have to have a dream, a business. And if you go on my Instagram, and that's instagram.com/Miss CEO, yeah, I always like to put things on there and let them know. And I like to let them know it's important for you to understand that business is not just about going out there and selling something or providing a service. It's a little bit more about taking what it is inside of you, understanding what your talents are, what your skills are, and what your expertise is, and blending those with your passion. If you can do that, then you really will never work a day in your life because you're going to love what you do, and it'll be easy. I, for one, my talent is to actually extrude business from people. My
Sorry.
skills are things that you acquire through experience. My skills are mathematical. I like to see what their end financial goals are and help them to achieve those. So I have a lot of skills in business development and the architecture of business as far as the mathematics of business. And then my expertise is in strategy. I think maybe my tenure in the US Army and my education both lead me to become a business strategist. So I take all those things and I blend them with my passion, which is helping people, especially helping women to thrive in owning their own business and living their own dreams and not working for the dreams of others.
Mm. Yes,
So
exactly.
that's what I love. I love to be a part of that. The way I look at it is if you can take your dream and you can take your skills and you can take your expertise and blend that with your passion, then you've got an encapsulated business that will thrive because you're going to know exactly what your focus is. Your focus is in living the life that you know that you're entitled to by working as hard as you want to have the time that you need to spend with your family, with yourself, with your faith, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, and that's your freedom. And then the financial freedom comes with that. Because believe it or not, once you have achieved that business, as I call it, that business nirvana of knowing where your focus is, then the money comes. Once you provide a service, you understand your client, you understand your target market, you see where their pain points are, and you address those with a proper solution, then the revenue is going to be there. Because if you can do that, solve a problem, find that problem, solve it efficiently time after time, your clients will bring you clients and your business will grow and thrive. And as you are growing your business, you realize that you are actually growing yourself. And that is when you know that it's time for you to scale. Now, scaling can be something different for each of us. Scaling may mean you need to bring in others to work alongside of you. It may mean that if you are a brick and mortar, scaling may mean a secondary location or franchising. Or it can simply mean if you are in the online marketplace, scaling simply means more money, going from the 5K to the 10K per month, or from the 10K to the, hey, I can make it to the 25K. So you decide what your scale levels are, and then you see what your processes are today. If you have a process that is making you $5,000 per month, you look at how you're attaining that $5,000 per month, what you have to do to duplicate that monthly, and that will scale you to $10,000 per month. So
Mm.
if you're selling one product at $2,500 and you sell two per month, you know you have to do twice what you're doing to then sell four of those per month and get to 10,000 and so on. I know that's simplifying it a bit, but the important part about it is that scalability is something that you can attain. It's very simple. Uh, Most important is choose your market, understand their pain, provide them the solution, repeat.
Mm.
So it's not if I build it, will they come? It's hey, I've built it. They need my service. Now I need to show them I am the solution. And once I do it with one, then I'll do it with two, then I'll do it with five. And that's scaling. Getting your business ready to scale is a little bit more difficult. Once you see where your client's business is, then you know what you have to do to bring them to the next level. Then you take that the same premise for yourself. Let's make sure that we have the same solutions that we offer our clients for ourselves. What do you need? How can I solve that problem for you? And how soon can I bring you to the level that you want to come? Once you do that, then it's easier to grow your business and grow your scale, grow your revenue, which at the end of the day, we're all here for the revenue. I've worked with companies that sell specific product. Let's use Tanya is one of my clients, and she sells Caribbean hair products that have a coconut oil base and keratin. She was doing approximately $9,000 per month when I started working with her back in 2017. And I told her, well, as you are selling the product and your packaging is so costly, in order for us to scale, we're going to have to cut down on your total cost of production and reduce your packaging and enhance the deliverability of your marketing. So we're going to save about $1,000 per month on packaging and take that same $1,000 and spend it on certain types of advertising, spend it on models, hair models, spend it on different things. When we did that, the first month we actually saw a loss of revenue. And then she asked the next question that clients ask when scaling. Well, how is it that if we are doing something different, we're going backwards and losing money? Well, because it takes you 30 to 60 days before you can see the implementation happen. And then probably another 30 to 60 for you to see the production scale up. So by the fourth month, we were actually more than triple once we saw the advertising starting to take its turn and churn through. Then she was at approximately 3 times her revenue base. So we were able to take a 120-day scale model for her, reduce her total cost, and increase her total production, double her advertising to triple her income. And
Mm.
these are scaling formulas that I use with my clients, depending on what type of product or services they offer.
Mm.
Do you have any
So
questions?
yes, I have questions because I have a lot of people here on the audience that, especially for just getting started, as solopreneurs, they're just getting started. So they don't know how to scale their business. They don't know how where to start. They don't have a really company. They just are like a distributor or a sales rep, things like that, or they just wanna sell a product. But they just getting started, so they really don't know where to start on how to scale their business as a solopreneurs. So what advice
Well,
would you give them? Yeah.
with with solopreneurs, the most important thing that they need to look at, if they're like, let's say an MLM distributor, somebody who works multi-level, part of what they have to do to scale their business is to understand their product. Again, going back to your market, who is your product reaching? If what you are doing is going to be based on recruiting, then you have to understand that not only are you doing a service base, but you're also doing a recruitment base. And you have to do just as much work on recruitment if you're in an MLM as you do in product sales. I have several clients that are in the MLM marketplace, and when scaling their business, what we have to do is kind of like put blinders on and concentrate on product knowledge. concentrate on product acquisition. Who needs to acquire your product? Who needs to use, whether it's a health-based product or whether it's a makeup product or something as simple as paparazzi jewelry. Who needs to get into your product before we can get you into recruiting? Once you understand and pipeline your sales, then it's easier to go to someone and say, hey, Mary, I have got this great product and this great plan to sell this product. That makes it a lot easier to recruit someone when you tell someone, I have taken the guesswork out of you coming on board on my business because I have a solid, dedicated game plan to help you sell as well. That's what I would recommend for anyone that is in the MLM marketplace. A solopreneur, for example, a graphic artist, what I would recommend for scaling, the first place to start is to assess your business. Where are you? Are you doing enough? Are you enough? Because sometimes you can say, hey, I want to scale, but if you are soloing the graphics, can you handle 3 more clients without your service actually suffering, without your quality going down, without your graphics being the best? Because you need to understand that you must give, as a solopreneur, 101%, not just 100. You have to be better than the next person. So you have to make sure that you are sure to bring on the next clients. If you can do 5 clients efficiently, can you handle 10 clients efficiently? So understanding your service and your service offering before you make the choice to grow, you have to understand that if it's only you, are you going to be enough? Will you be able to do 17 logos instead of 8 logos per month and 4 different graphic PDFs and work on a website or a Facebook cover? Can you do it all? We all try to be super women. We all try to say we can do everything, and it isn't usually that simple. So before you scale, make sure that you're ready to scale. Because that's the one place that most people will fail, is when they don't understand that they cannot go forward because they overwhelm themselves. Okay, you're going to overwhelm yourself, and overwhelming yourself is the easiest way to fail at a scaling option. So I would recommend assess what you can do efficiently and efficaciously, then look to see what you can do to grow slow. I would not recommend someone trying to double their business in 1 month. It will not work. But if you see that you can do, if you're doing 8 logos, but you can do 14 logos comfortably, and at the same time do the PDFs and do the covers and do the website and maybe even a couple of other things, then do that. Then look to do those. Don't do 20. Because if you can comfortably do 12 and you grow 4 more, then just slowly but surely look at what it is that you can do and scale slowly. Give yourself a 30-day cushion. Go to your existing clients and say, hey, I'm trying something new. It may take me a little longer to develop this for you, but it's going to actually work better in the long term because I'll be able to be more efficient for what I'm doing to my standardized clients. And let them help you. Go to your own clients and have them be the ones that recommend someone new to you, because then they'll already know. They will not be on top of you. Hey, where's my logo? Hey, where's my PDF? So if you're trying to do something like that, start with your warm market to grow versus trying to just go all out and grow everywhere, because that'll make it more comfortable both for you and for your new clients, your growth. Okay.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, some people are just, they wanna, go fast and just like what you said, overnight success, but they don't know that overnight is takes years. They think about take 1 day at that time. So okay, so what about what can you advise as for everybody that's really need whatever business they have, whatever niches they have, what is the skills that they need to learn first, and how they settle their mindset on to be focused on what they really wanted to do to scale their business and to grow their business.
Well, the first thing in business, when you're looking to grow, is understand what your capacity is, what your capabilities are. That's the first thing. Whenever we're working on a growth strategy for a client, the first thing we do is say, what are your capabilities? How much can you handle? How much can you handle, and how much more can we put on you? Because until you do that, until you know what you can handle, what you can accomplish, you're not going to be able to scale. You're not going to be able to grow. The fastest way to go slow is to go backwards. And that's what happens when you try to go too fast. So it doesn't work. We all want to move faster, like you say. When it comes to business, we want to move at the speed of light, because the faster we move, the faster we work, the more money we make. I always like to err on the side of caution and say, slow down. Look where you want to go and work backwards from there. Don't run towards your vision because you're going to miss it. Work backwards from your vision. Understand where you have to do, what you have to do. Does it mean you work an extra hour in the morning and an extra hour in the afternoon? Does it mean that you actually do hire someone to help you with what it is that you're doing, with developing your service? Do you have to actually automate? Sometimes automation is going to help us to scale. It's helped me. I spent the better part of 22 years working everything with an old style fax machine, pen and paper, because I like being able to see everything that I did for each client. I would take notes for hours and then go through my notes and pour through my notes. It took my team 3 years to actually get me to go on a computer and to do everything with a computer. Now, I don't know how I would do it without half of the softwares that I use. And if you go on my website, we do have a list of amazing software that will help different types of niche businesses. Because the more you automate, the more you delegate, the easier it will become for you to encapsulate certain parts of your business, which will help you to become more open to bring on new business. The less you have to do because it's being automated, the more time and fluidity that you have to grow. So automating your processes, in order, it would be understanding your capacity, automating as many of your processes as possible, asking for help. Sometimes, I can do all of this on my own, but it doesn't really hurt. Somebody out there has either done it or is doing it. Why don't you ask for help? There's nothing wrong with either looking for a mentor or hiring a coach or just simply learning something from someone else, like what we're doing right now, trying to take some of the information I have in my head and some of the amazing other folks that you have had here, and taking some of those little bits of gold that each one of us can give to one another to learn and grow. The more you know, the more you grow. So it's very important. I always have a coach. I have a mentor and a coach that I work with closely, because every day I need to grow. Every day I need to learn. Every day I need to scale. Every day I need to grow. But at this point, as a cancer patient, I realize that my time is limited. My energy levels are limited, and I want to be the best that I can for my existing clients. So I only bring on 2 to 3 new clients per cycle, because it's more important for me to have an amazing set of deliverables to make sure each of my clients is totally and completely taken care of before I bring on a new client. So that's my scale formula personally. Understand what my limitations and capabilities are so that I can better serve my existing clients before I bring on new clients. Now, if you're 24 years old and you have all the energy in the world and you know you can do everything on 2 hours of sleep, go for it. Because that's what I used to do. Go for it. But if not, pace yourself. Pace yourself. You can only be as successful as you allow yourself to live. You have to be able to rest. You have to be able to eat right. You have to be able to exercise in order for you to have the right mindset. Because again, business is your dream. You are taking your business, just don't look at it as a financial vehicle. It has to be a passion. It has to be a dream. It has to come from here, because if it doesn't, then it's really just a job that you pay yourself for. When you look at business from a totally different standpoint, from the standpoint of a heartful entrepreneur, then your business becomes a part of you and a part of your life. And when you live it that way, then you take care of it, and your mindset needs to change to fit into that model. And that's the best way to scale, is start thinking how much more you can do. Again, you have to look, you have to see, you have to plan, and then you grow. And when your mindset starts to change, it'll click and you'll see, I can do this. I can ask for help. I can get a partner, or I can get an employee, or I can have someone help me. I can get a mentor. to help me go over these small humps that I can't get through, or these two extra logos that I have to do someone else can do. And then you grow and then you scale. But you have to treat it as a vision that you can't see with your eyes because your eyes can't see that far, but your mind's eye can. So work backward. Okay, I want to have a six-figure income in 12 months. Well, then let's see. In 12 months, I want to be here, which means in 5 months, I have to be at $34,000 in order for me to reach that vision. So it's easier for me to get from 5 to 34 than it is to get from 5 to six figures.
Mm.
But that's your vision. Your vision is that far. And then you just work backwards. Okay, so I have to take these steps in order to get to the next plateau. The next plateau is going to be 10,000. After that, 25,000. After that, 34,000. After that, 50. So it's easier to plan that way. And then trust me, you'll get there before the 12 months is up. Each of my clients that has a 12-month scalability plan to get to six figures usually accomplishes it between 4 to 7 months, because they've taken the burden off of themselves. They've got a plan and the burden is on the plan. And if they follow the plan, then it makes everything a lot easier. Because, you have to choose your target, you have to build it. Doesn't necessarily mean they will come. You have to market it appropriately. You have to assess your ability to provide the best possible service to your client. And then you charge ahead. Go forward. Look at it, do it. Let's make it happen. In my training course, I always start everything with, what can I do to make you better? And I finish it with, get to work. Because those are the things that we have to do as service providers. How can we make your business better? And at the end, we have to get to work. And once we work on it, we're going to accomplish your goals and mine.
Yes, very, very well said. That's really a long process, right? A long process that you have to, to really put your time, your effort and your mind focus. You have to, yeah, clarity, right? So that's why, see the purpose of this show. Or my purpose of this show is to, I connect with people and I ask. Some people are afraid to ask. They have fear of asking. So I want my audience to be surrounded with like-minded people, with positive people like you, sharing your thoughts and your experience, your expertise to the world, so that when people are watching my show and if they really need your help, they can go reach out to you. Because if me only going live and talking me, I don't have that kind of not expert to everything, the knowledge of that. That's why I bring people and I want to help them too. If they have questions that I cannot answer, I cannot give them a product or service that I can offer. I can introduce them to my guests that have been here and support this show. So that's my mission, that I want to help people also, and also let other people that have intention, a good intention on speaking to the world, but there's something struggling on them to like talking in front of the camera, or having fear, things like that. They want to get out of the comfort zone. So this show is also for them to to get rid of that zone, so they can feel better and can help more people all around the world. So that's really my mission. So thank you so much for giving your time to come into my show. And before we end up, do you have any more last advice to all people, entrepreneurs, companies, solopreneurs, or just getting started, or just um, hmm, people who are
Well,
business?
the one thing that I'd like to say is, don't ever give up on yourself. If you are doing, if you're just starting out, we thank you as an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur Day was just a few weeks ago, and I thanked so many people, because the world revolves on the work that we do as entrepreneurs, the things that we see, the businesses that we take and make better. So don't give up on yourself. uh, Please think of yourself as somebody who someone else out there needs. You are needed. Your service, your product is needed out there. Someone is going to be a better business person because of your service or your product, or you're going to make somebody's life a little better because you have an amazing product. So don't give up on yourself. And if you feel that you are in a flat line or you don't know how to go to grow, reach out. I'd be more than happy, anyone that comes through your show, be more than happy to have a 15-minute free conversation with them, no cost, just actually seeing where they are and giving them a push in the right direction, and a quick call that we can actually just talk about what it is that they need and where they can go get it. Because there's a lot of resources out there. I actually have an incubator for women where we do pretty much from visioning to onset to incorporation. We help them to grow their business. And the reason for that is because we have to give back. So I have a group of 7 women, and we do everything from incorporation to bookkeeping to mentoring, and we help anyone that actually needs it. No cost. It's just our way of giving back. So if you go into my website, www.missceo.com, I'd be more than happy to help.
All right. So thank you so much. And, I will, guys, I will put a description on how you can reach Cee Castillo and her URL or group. You have a Facebook group, right?
Yes, I have a Facebook group as well. It's the WIN, it's the Women in International Network. And I will go ahead and put that in the comments so that
Yes,
everybody can
please.
go ahead. I'll put the links in the comments.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay,
you. And
guys.
any questions, please leave them in the comments.
Yes, if you watch this live on a replay, just leave all your questions, and she's gonna look at it and answer all your questions. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this show and for your patience. For the beginning, we got in trouble, but that's how we learn. All right, we learn while we're doing. So keep learning. All right. Thank you so much, C, and
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening and a great morning to you.
thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye bye.